Hello, Oak Grove, and welcome to another student-produced episode of EGU News. I'm Harpreet.
And I'm Sangeetha. This is the last day EGU News is being produced by the TJTV students of Toby Johnson Middle School.
Many people have been bored at home because they don't know what to do. Well, one thing you can do is journal.
Let's go to a report made by Harpreet Damra and Allison Saran on journaling.
Journaling is a great pastime. You can use journals to write down your thoughts and feelings, draw pictures, or even turn it into a mini scrapbook. All you need is a notebook. It doesn't have to be a journal. Pencils, erasers, and pens, or other mediums. The first step is to pick a book. The next step is to gather your supplies. The last step is to find a comfortable workspace free from distractions. Your very first entry could be describing your current lifestyle. Introduce yourself to your journal. Don't worry about entry length. As you continue, you start to find your own system. If you're having trouble starting, don't worry, you're not alone. That's a common issue people face when they're first getting started. Don't give up, you make the rules, and here are some ideas to help you get started.
Thanks for that report, Harpreet and Allison. Speaking of staying at home, learning how to code is a great way to pass time.
That's right. One way you can learn to code is using the software known as Scratch.
Scratch can help you learn the fundamentals of coding. So let's watch a report made by Pratham Rangwala on how to use Scratch.
Have you ever played a game and said to yourself, I wish I could make a game like that? You can start now. Let's start with the basics, Scratch, and learn what it is and how to use it. To start, go to scratch.mit.edu. Then press the Start Creating button. There are three main parts in Scratch: the blocks, the code, and the game output. Above the game output is a flag and a stop sign. To run your code, press the flag, and to stop it, press the stop sign. Below the game view is the sprite and background controls, where you can change how the character looks and add more. Finally, the empty space is where you will start coding. There are multiple different code blocks that do many different things like moving and telling things when to happen. As you can see, here is a game that I quickly put together that is about coronavirus. Scratch teaches you the fundamentals of programming, so if you are really interested, learning programming languages will be easy. Plus, you will have lots of time at home to explore. If you are interested, make an account and share it on the link that is on the screen right now. Have fun scratching!
Thanks, Pratham. Now let's go to Zanthi Pinkerton and Sandeepto Sanj for today's district updates.
Thank you, Harpreet. All right, so today on EGU News, we have a short update for everybody. We have a brief announcement and then lots of resources and tips for all of you out there as we all prepare for distance learning. Lastly, please know, this is for everybody, especially seniors, please know that we are working on recognition opportunities for the end of the year for seniors. And today, to let you know that, I'm working on mine. Graduate, go Trojans.
Now let's remember our Elk Grove Unified School District distance learning timeline countdown. This week we wrapped up the first week of distance learning preparation.
Awesome.
Very productive week all across the district. Next week is spring break, so it's a non-instructional week.
Correct. And well, we'll bring it up later in terms of the meal service about Friday being a holiday. Just something to keep in mind there. April 13th through April 15th, we're going to be doing more distance learning preparation. And then April 16th, we start with secondary instruction that goes live. And then on April 20th, we're going to be doing elementary, starting with elementary instruction. That will be going live. And then May 29th will be the end of the school year for all students.
Hey, Zanthi, we received a question regarding kindergartners. So a lot of kindergartners are also going to be starting distance learning, but they're not necessarily going to receive assignments on a Chromebook. They will receive packets that will be for their distance learning. So it's an important information, and we do have that listed out on the Elk Grove Unified School District school resources page that I think everyone should check out.
Absolutely correct. And for parents who might have questions specifically about their kindergartner and what they're going to be doing, definitely they should contact their school administrator just by email, and be patient. We've got a lot of emails. So
yeah, but the email addresses are on the school's website. Correct. To every single school principal. So don't hesitate to send them a note. Just be a little patient in getting a response, because I know that they're working hard responding to a lot of emails, but also getting back to people over the phone as needed. Awesome. So earlier today, Zanthi, Elk Grove Unified, in coordination with the Sacramento County Office of Education, County Health, and 12 other school districts throughout the county, announced that Sacramento County school districts will close through the rest of the school year, and that distance learning and school meals will continue. So the press release going into detail about this announcement has been posted on our website. Mm-hmm. It's blogs.egusd.net/pressroom.
Awesome. So in the announcement as well, we also note that Superintendent of Sacramento County Schools, Dave Gordon, announced that he commended our districts, all of the districts in Sacramento County, and their fine staffs for doing everything possible to provide distance learning, and that districts, we're going to be continuing on with providing the meals for students in need.
Yeah, and he also mentioned that a lot of the school districts throughout the county will be rolling out distance learning in mid-April. So it's, everyone's really eager and anxious to get it started. Superintendent Gordon also emphasized that while school facilities will not be reopening, education for students will continue via distance learning. Sacramento County Office of Education also is providing a collective of enrichment resources for students, families, and school districts that may be helpful during remote learning. For updates on the impact of the coronavirus on Sacramento County public school districts, including closures, meal service, and distance learning, you could visit their website at scoe.net.
That's awesome to know. Those are great resources, and that are for everybody in Sacramento County. And hey, I'm glad too, we have some of our own resources that we think are really relevant for our parents and for our students and our families. And so we're going to run down some and remind everybody about what some of those resources and might be for
Great,
this.
let's do it.
Yes.
We're getting a lot of phone calls on these topics, so let's knock them out.
Exactly. So first, let's just start with our Chromebooks. So there's five important things to remember about Chromebooks when you go and pick them up. And be sure to read our March 30th community letter that's posted online, and we have it like in about 10 different languages right now. Go and read that letter if you want more specific details about the age groups, the process, the dates, etc. And you'll be able to find out that information. And it also has information about internet connectivity. And let's remember that the remaining dates after today, the remaining dates for the Chromebook checkout will be April 7th, 8th, and 9th. And that's all next week for elementary schools. And one last thing, just a shout out to all of the people out there helping to distribute the Chromebooks right now. I heard the latest report, we're at about 33% of our high school students have checked out a Chromebook. So that's
great.
So it's an awesome thing, and let's keep it going.
Yeah, and that's at 9 different regional high schools that are handling the Chromebook checkout. So that includes Cosumnes Oaks High School, Elk Grove High School, Florin High School, Franklin High School, Laguna Creek High School, Monterey Trail High School, Pleasant Grove High School, Sheldon High School, and Valley High School. So they're going to continue the Chromebook checkout process for all of the elementary schools. And once again, Zanthi mentioned that it's happening April 7th, 8th, and 9th, and it's broken down by grades and last names. So be sure to check the March 30th community letter update that was sent out earlier this week for a complete breakdown.
That's awesome. So of the 5 things, that was number 1. And also we're still asking that if your student really needs a Chromebook, then yeah, absolutely go get one. But if you have other devices that you could use, it would be very welcome if you could use your device that you have at home. And some people have asked us, Sandeep, what are the different devices?
Yeah.
And our main thing is, as long as the device can be worked on comfortably in terms of from learning something, watching videos, looking at information on a screen, it connects to the internet, and you can type on it, that's also important, then it should be good to go. The nice thing about the Chromebooks and laptops and even iPads and other tablets is that they do have a video component and audio. So those are some important elements to that. So the second thing that we want to remind people about the checkout process is, for health and safety, the Chromebook checkout process will continue to be a drive-through process, mainly to adhere to the social distancing guidance that we've gotten. And then the third thing, students must be present in the car to receive their device. And again, it's 1 per student maximum. And then 4, please have or know the student ID number for each student. And here's the tip that we were going to give all parents. To expedite, remember we were at 4.2 of a checkout speed, I think, yesterday over at Monterey Trail.
What are we at today? Do you know?
I don't know today. I don't know today. But for next week, because most elementary school students don't have an actual ID card, if parents could write down the ID card, on some kind of a piece of paper, just be able to show it to the people, it would really be helpful and would help hurry up and make the process a little quicker. So that's a little tip. Write down your student ID on a piece of paper, because kids don't have those IDs. The elementary students usually don't. And that'll help the whole process. All right, the 5th thing that we're asking is just that, a parent, a guardian, and or a relative can drive the student to the school. And that's fine. So we understand that there's parents out there who are essential workers, and they were asking us, well, what if I can't go? And we're like, do you have another relative who could perhaps take the students to go pick up their Chromebooks?
So Elk Grove Unified School Meal service that we provide. So we're actually continuing the drive-through grab-and-go meal service during spring break for 4 days. So it'll be April 6th, April 7th, April 8th, April 9th. So April 10th is a holiday across the school district, and we won't be providing meal service on April 10th. However, we will be serving extra meals to cover that holiday on Thursday, April 9th.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. Thank you.
So is the month of April, by the way.
Good job. So Sacramento County Schools will also be doing meal pickups, and those will continue. And that information is available throughout Sacramento, or that whole meal pickup is available throughout Sacramento County. And the Sacramento County Office of Emergency Services has published an interactive map of local meal distribution sites reported by the school districts. And we did talk with them today to make sure that in Elk Grove Unified, our schools are listed too. So
because it's 37 sites throughout the school district. So, we're providing a lot of meals to so many families, and, we want to make sure that everyone knows where they're located.
Right.
So if you do have questions, Auntie, make sure people visit our website, www.egusd.net. It's on there. Just click on the drive-through meal service picture and you'll get all the information you need.
Exactly. And if you by chance don't see it, it's just because they haven't had a chance to update it yet, but we did ask them to make sure to go put in all of our 37 locations where we're offering those meal services. So there's some other important resources that are still out there for you to go and use. Check out the EGUSD Family and Community Resources page. That page, we're providing content on there on a regular basis. We talked with Lisa Lavasser yesterday. She oversees the Office of Family and Community Engagement, and she's helping us and working with her team to get information on there. There's also the frequently asked questions that we're going to be working on as well, and we have a lot of information there also. Enrichment and fun activities, you can still go there all next week and check out enrichment and fun activities to do at home. And there's also the social emotional learning, don't want to forget that, and community resources in general.
Hey, Zanthi, you mentioned social and emotional learning. Well, to piggyback on Lisa Lavasser's Q&A that you had with her yesterday, I did a Q&A session with Don Ross, the Director of Student Support and Health Services here at Elk Grove Unified. He spoke about social and emotional learning as well as Care Solace, a 24/7 platform available to students, families, and staff for behavioral and mental health services. Let's listen in. All right, thank you so much to Don Ross, Director of Student Support and Health Services of Elk Grove Unified School District, for joining us today.
Good morning.
So we wanted to ask a few questions. With the school closures, there's concern about behavioral and mental health needs for students, families, and staff members. Does Elk Grove Unified offer any services?
Yes, we do. We're continuing to, put out a lot of resources to families. So you can find that on our family resource page under social emotional learning, or SEL.
Okay.
And so there are quite a few resources for families to help guide them through this crisis. One, to provide supports that they can do and activities that they can do with their child at home to help them understand this crisis, to help build their social emotional skills, their resiliency to this crisis. And then we also have some lessons for our teachers to use. So when our distance learning starts, they'll be able to work with students in their class on developing social emotional learning skills and talking with their students about the coronavirus and what it means, ways to deal with that, ways to interact with the family. There's other resources on there too, because it is a different situation, right? We're in a different situation, and we're staying at home, and that's unusual to do distance learning, to not have that connection, that daily connection with your teacher, which is so important in the process. So a lot of those lessons are making that connection with kind of reconnecting through video, online, Zooming, or the distance learning. So a lot of lessons around that and how to make that connection and support students during this time.
So I understand that earlier this calendar year in January, February, Elk Grove Unified announced a new partnership with Care Solace. So what exactly is Care Solace?
All right, Care Solace is an online referral service. So it's 24/7. So it's available to anyone, whether it's our teachers, our staff, students, and families, to go online and to access a service that will connect you with a wellness provider in the community. And so what it does is, for example, if you're a parent at home and you're noticing some different things going on with your child, so maybe there's some excessive worrying or fear that wasn't normally there, confused thinking about certain problems, even though we're kind of in a period of isolation, but you'd notice that they're avoiding even friends on social media, or they're avoiding other kinds of activities they normally would have participated in, not just because we're in a period where you're supposed to be staying at home, but it looks just more out of the norm than normal. You start to see some of those things. You can certainly reach out to your teacher through the Google Classroom and ask them and let them know that what's going on. You can reach our school counselors, reach out to them, send them an email, or any of our wellness providers. But you can also go online, and that's, maybe we can show this later to the folks.
Yes, we can. We'll provide the website.
Yeah, caresolace.com at EGUSD Families. And if you go on there, on that web page, it will prompt you and it'll ask you a few questions about what's going on. And then you'll be connected. That information will be given to Care Solace, which keeps everything confidential. And then they will return an email to you letting you know that they received that information. And then shortly after that, you will get a phone call to follow up further with you about what's going on and what supports and services you might need. And from there, they will connect you or find a community-based wellness provider that is available to see your child, or even to see you if you're struggling with what's going on and needing to talk with somebody. So it's a service, the referral service to access that, mental health supports. And they work with all insurance companies. So they'll work with all the insurance companies in the area, as well as Medi-Cal.
So we have a lot of families that speak languages at home that might not be English. So does Care Solace accommodate different languages?
It does accommodate different languages. They currently they don't accommodate all languages. So if that becomes a concern, or if it presents itself as a barrier, the first thing Care Solace will do is see if there's anybody in the family that can help translate. And if there's somebody in the family that can help translate that, they'll work with them. If that's not an option, I recommend that families, again, contact the Elk Grove Unified School District, and we'll see if we can help support you with some translation.
And then you kind of brought this up a little bit, but who can contact Care Solace? Does an Elk Grove Unified School counselor or representative need to be the one to contact Care Solace, or can families do it on their own? Can students do it on their own?
Good question. It's anybody in our Elk Grove Unified School District family. So parents can do it, students can do it. We obviously at the school district can do it for you. And what we have is, we call it a warm handoff. So if you don't really want to do it and you think you need some guidance with the connection and asking the questions and working with Care Solace, you can reach out to one of our counselors or our wellness providers, and they can walk you through the system, and then what's called a warm handoff, and then they just hand you off to Care Solace, and then Care Solace takes it from there. So there's a couple of different options. You certainly can do it on your own. Just go to that website that was mentioned, answer the questions, and then you'll be connected.
Great. Thank you, Don Ross, Director of Student Support and Health Services, for joining us today.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, Sandeep, that was a great piece. Good interview. And, it's so important that everyone knows there are resources available to students and families and staff during the school closures.
Yeah, and if there's ever any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You could send out an email to us. We will respond. You could call them any time of the day, anytime you need to, and they will help you, and we will help you as well.
That's great. So we want to thank everyone about all of the things that we're doing. Your support, patience, positive outlook, and sense of community helps everyone. So thank you. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home as much as you can. And remember to subscribe to our Elk Grove Unified School District's YouTube channel. Back to you, Sanjitha.
Thanks, Auntie and Cindy. We'll be going back to those two for some more updates later. Staying at home might mean that you have to make your own food.
Let's take a look at a video made by Sanjitha on how to make pancake batter. Thanks for making that video, Sanjitha.
Now let's hop back over to Zanti and Sandeep for more updates.
Thank you, Sanjitha. Here is today's April 3rd, 2020 update from Sacramento County Public Health. There are more confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Sacramento County. The cases now total 390, and of those, there are 10 confirmed deaths. Sadly, 7 of those deaths were fellow Sacramentans, and 3 were from the city of Elk Grove.
Mm-hmm. Sacramento County health officials reiterate that all residents from all faiths and all backgrounds stay home. Lives in our community depend on it.
New data suggests that people may be able to spread the COVID-19 virus 2 to 3 days before developing symptoms. The possibility of pre-symptomatic transmission is there. So again, even if you feel healthy, stay home as much as possible. Wash your hands often and stay at least 6 feet away from others.
That's right. And Dr. Peter Bielenson, director of the Department of Health Services, continues to state social distancing works, and that we must keep our distance from others and not gather in any non-household, not gather with any non-household members, period. If we don't slow the spread of cases, a surge of sick people could overwhelm our hospitals, doctors, and equipment and resources, which could result in unfortunate and additional deaths.
And for the state, there are 10,701 positive cases and 237 deaths in California as of April 2nd, 2020. Approximately 94,800 tests have been conducted. At least 32,944 results have been received, and another 59,500 are pending as of April 1st. For more information and the latest data, visit the California Department of Public Health. Back to you, Harpreet.
Thanks, Sandeep and Zanti.
As we mentioned in previous episodes, EGUSD's Arts Showcase will be online.
However, until then, we will be showcasing some of the student-created videos.
Let's take a look at a video submission from Franklin High School.
awesome submission, Franklin. And that's it for today's show.
We'll see you on the next episode of
EGU News. I'm Harpreet. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Sangeeta. Until next week, stay safe and take care, everyone.